All right, so this is going to be a fairly quick video. Someone asked me my thoughts about the gender war, in the black community. There's some black women who are against that talk negative about black men, and especially if they're dating interracially and all of this. And this person mentions, Dr. Dre. It became a big hot topic because his wife and him got a divorce, and so he's paying her $100,000 a month, which is not much for Dre. And people were saying that's what he gets for dating an exotic woman or exoticals, or black men should do better, this, that, and the other. And so this person wanted to know what are my thoughts about this and that type of thing. Be sure to join the Discord, which is going to be down in the description box below. These are the type of women that you should avoid. Anytime that, and I've seen some of the comments and stuff, anytime that you see women like that, those are the type of women that you should avoid at all costs. It doesn't matter how good looking they are. Typically, the women that are great looking don't really have much to say about that. But the ones that definitely have some sort of a self-esteem issue are going to be the ones that will make these types of comments. And those are the people that, trust me, you want to avoid. When I talk to young black men about empowering themselves and trying to do the right things and focus on yourself and improve yourself, you don't want to do all that hard work and then get with someone like these type of women and then waste all of that time and energy and effort. They're simply not worth it. There's a reason why there are some of these women who can never pick up a man even if the man had handles, because their attitude is just so toxic. If you look at those types of comments and things like that, they don't really even deserve a comment, because people like Dr. Dre doesn't even pay attention to these people, doesn't even know who they are. And you have some women on here telling these women, why do you even care? Why does it matter? But you do have those who really and truly are butthurt because they have their own self-esteem issues. They want to be in the position that Dre's ex-wife was in. They want to be next to a guy that has a lot of things going for him, a lot of money, basically, is what it comes down to. And the point is, they bring very little typically to the table. I go back, I've talked about this often, about you want to be on someone who's at the same caliber, just because, and I've seen some of the same type of women who may have achieved a lot when it comes to education, but still mentally very toxic. You just don't want to be with someone who is like that. When I tell young black men specifically, when you go out here and you've done all these different things, relationships should be the very last part of that puzzle, because you want to get your whole self together. You want to focus on what you can do to improve yourself, investments, getting your passport, making sure you own land, making sure that you are educated in some sort of a fashion. Focus on those things. The fun and all the other stuff should be at the back burner, right? Clothes. Look at the clothes I have. This is a cheap shirt, and the kids got a patch that Noelle helped them iron on, right? I don't spend my money on super expensive brands, and neither should you. You see what I'm saying? There may be a time or two for stuff like that, but really and truly, there's even been famous rappers who have said there's no point in the average everyday dude trying to dress like us, because they make a lot of money and you technically, a lot of these dudes don't. And that's okay. Be the regular, boring guy, the nerdy guy that these types of women talk negative about. Be the guy that they make fun of, because there are a ton of other women who respect that type of guy. They want the guy that's not always, these women want the guy that's the thug and the hideous trash, typically. You want to be the type of guy that is doing the right things, staying out of trouble, doing some investments. You see what I'm saying? You want to be the type of man that's actually building themselves to be very, very productive. And then choose a woman who is worth your time. Race should not be a factor in that, because just because someone looks like you doesn't mean they're going to be a good person. Finding someone who can complement you in all aspects is what you want. If you find a woman who may look amazing, but she's great at name calling people, at name calling, she's great at trying to make people feel guilty about what they do in life, whether in innocent things, right? Intimidates you. That's not the type of woman that you want to be around. And then you may see that. That's why I tell dudes, date for a very long time. Find a woman and date them for a very long time. Just watch and see how things are. Don't pay attention to the outside of things. Sometimes we get blinded by certain things. Don't ignore all of that. Pay very, very close attention to the person that you're dealing with. Because typically, most of the time, people show you what they're about at the very, very beginning of things. We tend to overlook them, we tend to ignore them, but pay very close attention. If you find a woman that is all about her, then that's not the woman you want to be with. There's 3 strikes. Simply put, one of the very first things is that open her door, be the gentleman, be all of this, and they're going to love that. And see how they respond to that. You know, one of the things I saw in a movie where this guy says, open the door for her, leave your doors locked, but open the door for her. And if she doesn't try to open your door, unlock the door for you, then dump her. Well, to me, I count that as strike one. If you're at the dinner table and you get the bill and she doesn't offer to say, you know what, hey, I don't mind putting some in on it, or let me at least pay the tip. If she doesn't do that, dump her. Because even though you feel completely comfortable and you're well prepared to pay for everything, if she does not see it that way, or she doesn't want to try to even help, avoid her. Right? Or if she says, you know what, I got mine, you can get yours. Maybe next time you can, you know. Or maybe if she says, hey, I'll get everything. You know, maybe next time, because then it shows that this person's a little bit selfless. Now, there may be some women that disagree, but I'm telling you, trust me. Because the women that are in the comments talking about Dr. Dre, who's a very wealthy man, and dogging him because of the wife he chose, mainly because she's not black, a lot of those women are not the type of women who are going to be a productive person in a relationship in some sort of aspect. You have some dudes that just kind of settle. They just deal with a woman that is very toxic, negative, all of that. So some of these women may be married and say, I'm married, but the guy lives in hell. This is not a bashing women type of thing, because the vast majority are not going to be like that. But when you have a situation like what you're seeing in terms of the comments, these are the women to avoid. Those are people too that I don't bring my kids around. If that's the view that you have on people's choices and who they choose to live with and marry and date and have kids by, I don't trust you being around my kids. I don't see you any different than a Klansman, because their concept and view of reality is quite a bit crazy. So I don't trust those types of people around my kids. You want to think about that. You don't want to continue on. I know there are some white folks who say, you know what, I'm scared about having kids by someone who's potentially white, not because the person that they're choosing might be a bigot, but they're afraid that their kid may grow up, get around people who are a bigot, and end up being a bigot. I've heard that before. There are some people who will say, look, women like this are who you want to avoid. Why? Because you want to break this gender warfare that has been created with a couple of different generations. You want to avoid those types of individuals. Don't go for those types of people. Don't go around those types of people. Don't engage with those types of people. Right? Focus on you. Focus on how you can improve yourself. Be with a woman not based on what she looks like, race, or any of that. Be with a woman who has a good character, regardless of what her education is. Right? She can have a PhD and be toxic. And I know a few that are like that. Be with someone who is going to be a good-hearted, good-natured person for you. And there are a lot of women who are like that. There are a lot of women who really and truly, and unfortunately, a lot of these women who are toxic like this are throughout the community. and impact a lot of things that you may be trying to do. But again, find a way around it, move on with your life, and avoid those types of people. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.